Yo, what is up, guys? I wanted to make this video discussing one of the best rappers I think coming out of LA. And I wanted to first of all, I want to show some of his songs, a few little clips of his music, and then we can get into discussing him a little bit, discussing LA street culture, discussing Mexican culture in LA and Mexican gang culture in LA, the South, the Sureños, and all right, but let's get into it. I think he's one of the best rappers coming out of LA right now. I think he has an authentic sound. I think it's unique. I think it represents LA, and it represents his culture and hip hop, and well, we know that. Well, let's get started. Let's get started with this.
We gon' frontline when it's wartime. Know some real killers that'll bust for me. Wonder who will sit and hush for me. Double back and get them touched for me. I'm an evil shot, so it's 30 rounds. Feed him 30 more feet out of bounds. We gon' overkill him if he hit the ground. Do it broad day, make the falling proud. I'm from Playboys, do this shit for joy. When I op down and leave his melon popped. Free the homies in their fine life, they gon' keep thugging till them cases drop. Really made a nigga Millie rock down, no dance move. When I feed them shots, if I see I'm coming, then I'm shooting up. Better duck and roll when I hit the spot. Bitch, I'm well known for that gunplay. Sharp shooting out, pump fake. If it's me or you, then it's gon' be you. Better say goodbye when that drum spray. Heard my young life never caught a bop.
Alright, so you guys see that? That's him going in on a Chicago beat. The song's called West Rack. It's him going in on a Chicago style drill beat, and it's a sick drill beat, and he murked it. As you guys can tell, he did a very good job. He's gang banging, as you can see. He's from LA. He is a Sureño. He's part of a Sureño gang. But this is his most popular song recently.
Miraculous.
And it's pretty dope. Check it out.
Where you gon' run? Off the back. 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 Boom, bop, boom, boom. Where you gon' run? Off the back. Where you gon' run? So great. Ain't out on the block, just me and my killers. I'm hanging with 30, it's never a break. We spin it again and spin it again. Fuck spinning tomorrow, we spin it today. Got choppers and drakes, switch on the block. Ain't half the dark, cause they know it ain't safe. Can check y'all trust, but studs I'm a bust. I catch me an app and I'm making them shake. First play on the beat, back in these streets. No chef when I tell you I cook like stacks and shows where they post. Spider-Man got them no running for minutes, go ahead try to play. Hang with the killers who bustin' in public. I hang with no nigga who tell me the way. They know I'm the one, licking my neck and getting too close and get shot on the face. We purge on a Sunday, we purge on a Monday. We purge in a day, in love with the gunplay. Pump on with the drum shake, get it done and we skate. We scared I'm beyond straight, I'm letting that gun yay. And we boosting the rate, take bro on a blind day. He run his back plate, now he in the case. Ain't really no killer, we catch him and zip him. Throw bro in the trunk, get found in the state. No I ain't shit, again I was cheating. I told you I'm sorry, but pay I'ma change. I do my little dance, I'm feeling like sway. Stop huffing and puffing, you don't gotta stay. If I'm a junkie then bitch, I admit it. I live on pills, I just took about 8. Said it before, I'ma say it again. No time for discussion, I'm fish when I'm known. Screw on, we spin, come back with it empty. Y'all see me, I run cause they know what I'm on. Feds on my ass, wanna come get me, I stay on my pivot. Don't talk on the phone, I sip a little lean. Pop me a digger, I'm high as a kite, so don't play in my zone. I'm back on the road, coat full of killers, I'm swerving in traffic with Drake on my lap. Don't call me for dick, focus on money, ain't talking about chili. I don't wanna chat, if I get bored, do you dig? Only today, so don't get attached. Got me a little buddy, a scope and a beam. It came with a switch, and let's go back. Fucking me dead.
Alright, so I thought there was a chorus. There's no chorus. He's just going straight off. And as you can see, he's heavily gangbanging. Apparently, he's from this gang called Playboys 13. They use the P, as you can see from all the hats and everything. And they use the bunny symbol and a bunch of other gang signs. Of course, you see all that shit. Now, these guys are... So Playboys 13, they are... Let's see where they're located. So yeah, they're South LA gang. Let's see where we can location. All right, so we can't really. Well, that's their symbolism. They use the Playboy symbol, the little bunny, and they throw up gangs with the bunny ears. It's pretty cool symbolism. See what the bunny is. It looks pretty cool. However, yeah, anyway, he's apparently a part of this gang. Now, he was also a very good friend of MoneySign Suede, who was the next big thing coming out of LA. I mean, this guy apparently... Alright, so let's get into it. So this guy, he's from Huntington Park in LA. It's a very dangerous area he's from. Now, the thing about Suede, so MoneySign Suede, one thing that was cool about him was that he did not seem to be affiliated with any gang, which is quite unique for a rapper coming out of LA. He didn't seem to exactly be affiliated with any gang, but apparently other people said that he had people from Florencia 13 and those type of people in his videos. So he had some sort of association with Florencia 13. And for all you who don't know, any LA gang or any gang who has that 13 after their name means that they're associated with the Mexican Mafia, right? That's what the 13, I guess it's the 13th letter of the alphabet, the M, la MA, the Mexican Mafia. And so all of these gangs are sort of ran by the Mexican Mafia. So on the streets, they beef each other, they shoot at each other, they kill each other, they get into jail, they become Sureños, they're Southerners, they're Latin American individuals, generally Mexicans from the southern part of California, whereas the northern part goes by Norteños. They're Northerners, and so the Southerners, the Sureños, are all controlled by La M.A., the Mexican Mafia, and the Norteños are all controlled by the Nuestra Familia. And so this separation happened in the prisons, I think somewhere around the 70s, where they separated and the Mexican Mafia became its own thing, and the Sureños became their own thing, and the Norteños became their own thing, and the Nuestra Familia became its own thing. So it became this separation between Latin American gangs in the prisons, the Southerners and the Northerners. And so in LA, they're all Southerners, right? They're all Sureño gangs, and when they get to prison, they all have to follow under that Sureño card and under the Mexican Mafia. A lot of these gangs on the streets, the ones that have the 13 after their name, they fall under the Mexican Mafia. And so the unique thing about here, MoneySign Suede, was that he did not necessarily fall under any particular gang. Now, this individual, MoneySign Suede, would eventually get locked up. He got locked up frequently. He got locked up this time. He's buzzing. As you can see, he has 11 million views on this video. He has 27 million views on this other video. But, I mean, he didn't have that many views before he died. But he was still popping. I mean, people were listening to his music. I'll play a little. You guys will see that his music is very good. All right, let's play a little. So no gang signs so far. It doesn't seem there are any gang signs. Apparently, this dude was apparently had some associations with people from Florencia 13, but he wasn't gang banging himself. Now, this dude gets into prison, and he gets killed by his own people. He gets killed by Sureños. He gets killed by Latin American individuals in the prison. So that's a crazy situation. And apparently it's alleged that they were either extorting him and he wasn't going for it or something like that. He gets stabbed up in the prison and he dies. Now, he's very close. He's associated with he's very closely associated. This is them years ago with this dude Peysoh. and this is MoneySign Suede. They're in each other's early videos and everything. Look, this is them at a theme park. They're all very closely associated. Now, there's all sorts of issues related to Peysoh being in a gang, not being in a gang, all that nonsense, or he is in a gang, but how he got into the gang, because he used to bang a different gang, it's apparently called Maywood, somewhere. He's from Maywood. He used to bang a gang from Maywood. There's pictures of him banging an F, which is Florencia, and so some people are saying that he got jumped in prison, and jumped into the PBS 13, the Playboys 13, in prison or in jail or whatever. Now, see, he is from Maywood. He's a Maywood artist, which is an area in LA. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because Peysoh's a really good rapper, man. He was on the Kendrick album, and he's got it going on. I mean, this video is a day old. No one's really, it's 50,000 views, not that crazy. He has a video with AZ Chike. Now, AZ Chike sucks. AZ Chike sucks. AZ Chike is literally the worst, man. AZ Chike sucks ass, bruh. And he was hidden. He was beefing with, what's his name? Draco the Ruler. And he was hidden. His name wasn't out there like that. He claims to not be a blood, but then he associates with bloods in his music and everything. This is who AZ Chike is, who Draco the Ruler refers to when he talks about gang members joining at 25. When he says, how you join a gang at 25? And so this is who he's referring to, AZ Chike. I mean, he's a cornball, but he got put on the album by Kendrick, and the guy sucks. AZ Chike sucks. Peysoh is so much better than AZ Chike. Peysoh has substantial music, real music, even going back to these early songs like 6 Block. This is Young Him, and in this, you see that right there is MoneySign Suede. So these guys go way back. Huntington Park is right next to Maywood. So these guys go way back. Somehow they built a relationship early on. And however, this dude, MoneySign Suede, wasn't really associated with gangs. And I think that gave him a big advantage in the industry, honestly. I think when you think about the culture beyond LA, it's much more palatable, and it seems much more, people respect you a lot more when you come to the music scene without being associated with a gang, because they're like, wow, you get to talk your shit and stunt like you do, and speak about the things you do and play the role that you do, and you're not a gang member. So people respect that and pay. Beyond that, I mean, MoneySign Suede was a good rapper, but him not being associated with any gang was actually very advantageous for him as far as the music industry in general and the music culture in general. I felt like it allowed his music to go way further. On the other hand, Peysoh over here is, of course, as you see in all his videos, he's heavily associated with a gang. He's gang banging, apparently. He's with a gang. His gang is Playboys 13. He's based out of South LA. And I think in reality, whatever comforts it gives him, or however he benefits from being with a gang, which I don't think there's any benefit, in the long run, I think is very detrimental to his career. I think it makes it difficult for you to go beyond just the LA music scene. If you don't have those gang associations and you talk your shit and you present yourself as you are, I've seen from MoneySign Suede that it sends you much further in the music industry. For some reason, when you're not repping a gang, when it's not such a big thing on you, it's much more palatable. And I think it's already quite difficult for Latin American artists from LA to really take the front stage, to take the center stage in the LA music culture and music scene. And once you associate with a gang, it's even worse. But let's go beyond that point. One thing you have to think about is like all these gangs that go by the 13, that have the 13 after their name, fall under the Mexican Mafia. All right. And so allegedly, Suede got killed because he wasn't willing to be extorted. Now, who would be extorting him? From the control that we've seen from the stories you see, it's the Mexican Mafia who controls the Sureños in these prisons. And killing someone like that, I feel like wouldn't just happen without consequences, especially if it's one of your own kind. I mean, there's supposed to be rules that you're supposed to be living by in these prisons, and apparently it didn't apply. It didn't apply. They killed Suede, who was the biggest, who had the most potential as an LA artist of the Latin American descent to make it out of LA and to really go national at the very least. You know, I'm on the East Coast and I was listening to Suede. Suede, his music was palatable. His music had a vibe. It was so much. He wasn't just gangbanging on these tracks, you know, which may do well for LA. It may do well for like when people are in that mood. But his music, you could apply anywhere. You could play it at a barbecue. You could play it. It transcended cultures, right? He uses the N-word, but it transcended cultures. Suede, MoneySign Suede's music transcended cultures and he could have really been that artist that went beyond just the LA scene. Now, Peysoh, on the other hand, is heavily associated with gangbanging culture, and I think it's seeming to have a negative effect on his overall career. I think the quicker he can disassociate with that and represent himself more as an independent artist, even if he has these gangbangers with him, he doesn't need to make that the center stage of his music, you know? And I think that would be beneficial for him to really expand beyond the LA music scene and have an impact nationally, especially being that LA artists, like Latin American LA artists, do not get center stage in the rap scene in LA, right? I mean, this guy is so much better than AZ Chike, right? And AZ Chike for some reason has a buzz, and this guy is a cornball. AZ Chike is lame as shit, and his rap music is lame as shit, and he's lame as shit. You know, we do not mess with AZ Chike. Long live Draco. But Peysoh, he's really like a unique artist. He's a good rapper. We just checked out a few of his songs. He really has potential in the music scene, and so I wanted to make this video to kind of cover that. And then a further point is for all these like LA Latin American gangbangers, dude, why the fuck would you follow the Mexican Mafia? Like, for all Sureños, like, why would you follow the Mexican Mafia, man? The Mexican Mafia is a bunch of heroin addicts, self-snitching dope fiends, right? They'll be on the phones. I mean, you can watch the videos by Rene Boxer Enriquez where he looks at those. He's an ex-Mexican Mafia member, and he makes videos examining the wiretaps against the Mexican Mafia. And you can see that in the wiretap, right? They're on the prison phone, and the prison phone has an automated message that keeps saying this call is recorded for blah, 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 right? Every few minutes it says that. And these guys are on the phone talking about committing crimes, selling drugs, extorting people, murdering people. I mean, it's crazy, right? And they don't care because they're in prison doing life. So they don't care about these dudes on the streets that they're talking to who are getting implicated in all this, right? And they're all heroin addicts. Even Rene Boxer himself was a heroin addict. So many of them are drug addicts, heroin addicts, dope fiends, you know? And you're following what these dope fiend heroin addict dudes are telling you. You know, these heroin addict dudes in prison, there's like 150 of them to 200 of them, are telling the entire group of Sureños, the Sureños are all under their control. And it's a bunch of old dope fiend, a bunch of old heroin addicts and shit. And he's talking to, you know, and they kill each other, and they do all sorts of bullshit. They implicate everyone. They snitch. It's all sorts of bullshit. And this Mexican Mafia group runs these thousands and thousands of Sureños and these LA street gangs. So why would you even want to be associated with that? Like, I am certain that Peysoh, being that he reps a gang called Playboys 13, which means they fall under the MA, the Mexican Mafia, some of his money is certainly going towards these yucky dope fiends in the prisons. So that shit is crazy, man. But nevertheless, Peysoh seems to have huge potential coming out of LA. I hope he figures out how to really make himself palatable on the national level and really takes his career there, because he is probably the best rapper coming out of LA right now. One, if not one of the best rappers coming out of LA right now, man. Peysoh. So anyway, I thought I'd try a different video. I know there's a lot of talking in this video. I didn't really show you guys much. I don't know. I'm just gonna post it. Peace.